Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I would really hate to live in a small mountain town in Idaho with mountains all the way around me, beautiful colors on all the trees in my area, crystal clear waters where you can fish for rainbow trout and cutthroat trout, a small downtown that you can ride your four-wheeler from your house down to the grocery store or the coffee shop or the mercantile, elk all over the roadway for you to take pictures and look at, hot springs right next to the road where you can just soak and ease all your aches and pains, and thought, yeah, I really don't want to live in something like that. Yeah, I haven't either. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything about what it's like to live in Garden Valley and the Crouch area of Idaho. I'm going to go over everything about the entire community, what it's like living here, and I've even sat down with the mayor to get his take on what it's like to live here and things you need to know if you want to live in the Garden Valley area or the Crouch area of Idaho. Starting off just really easy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Boise. Even as a little guy, we would come up and camp at Silver Creek Hot Springs and Campgrounds, which is just past here, like 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
And so we'd do that a lot. And so we'd always kind of come through Crouch and Garden Valley. And some of the longtime locals we realized we probably interacted with because one of them used to rent like a VHS type store. And we'd get one and we'd have like a cigarette lighter where it was the TV VCR combo for camping. And
that's before my time.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we'd bring it back on our way home after our weeks-long like camping trip. We used to do family reunions up there all the time. So like we'd always kind of like grown up knowing about Garden Valley and Crouch. Never really imagining I could actually like live here. Yeah.
So what was the biggest thing that made you want to move up here from the Boise area?
Well, so my wife and I met, I was doing my master's degree in Arizona. She's kind of from small town Oklahoma and then ended up in Arizona, in a small town in northern Arizona. And we started dating, got married, even had our first there. And we'd always obviously come home to visit my folks in Idaho, and we'd go to McCall or Cascade or Redfish and just get out in the mountains during those summer times. And she always just fell in love with the place whenever we did that. So we came here one time on a whim. My mom was watching our son for a couple days. And we were just like, hey, let's get a hotel here in our little hotel around the corner. And they had a vacancy, and we just on no notice, we just booked it and stayed the night. We just really fell in love with Crouch, Garden Valley. And started the gears turning. How can we live here? How can we move here? And it just happened kind of pretty quick, and we were able to raise our kids here. We have 3 kids now, and they go
to school at Garden Valley?
No, we homeschool actually. Yeah, we homeschool, and we really like that because we got 2 boys, and they're busy, and just sitting around for 8 hours a day is kind of that's hard on boys especially. So.
That's actually a really good question actually that I'm coming up with. Raising kids here in the area, are there a lot of kids here, and is there a larger homeschool community? Do you must go to the...
There's actually, there's a big homeschooling group, and it's grown even like more so in the last few years. There's a lot of them. We'll organize like play groups or kind of side instruction, so people do their own homeschool things usually at home. But then there's a few co-ops where certain people, like former instructors that are retired teachers or whatever, or whoever else in the community wants to like offer whatever skill sets, they'll sit down and actually have like some kind of classroom style learning. And it's kind of across different ages, of course, because you might bring a 3rd grader, but someone brings a 5th grader, but it works pretty well. And then it gets the kids more just interaction. And then there's play dates too at the park where it's just, we go to the park and we just go and play. So
from what you've seen, is there kind of like a pattern of like who's like coming to the area, or is there a lot of people here that are multi-generational, they've been here for a while?
It's like mixed. There's definitely like some longtime locals, some names that have been here like 4, 5, 6 generations. And there's a good handful of them I can even think of myself, and I'm sure like my knowledge is very limited, so there's probably more out there. And then there's definitely a bunch of families, especially kind of when COVID hit. Our school wasn't shutting down. It was announced like publicly in the news down in like KTVB or something, and so we saw an influx from like 200 students up to 3. People were coming up and like staying with whoever they could to then be able to have like full non-distance learning, not alternating days, nothing, just a normal-ish school with no masks or anything. So they did that, and so they saw a huge influx of students into the public school. It's kind of fizzled out now, and now it's back down to like 200, I'd guess. But yeah, there's a ton of kids up here.
Cool.
Both in and out of the public school system. There's a lot of young families up here.
What's your favorite thing about Crouch?
Honestly, it's the community, really. We'll be somewhere and just the way people treat you. I don't know. I've heard this before. It's like the Idaho way. And you know, it's like, you know, you talk to your neighbor and shake their hand, but it's more like beyond that. Like here, it's like, we've had some kind of tragic things. We even had one very recently where a young man perished in a house fire, and the way the community just rallies, like, what do we need? Like, okay, we're gonna do a silent auction, donate some really nice items for that. Other things that are, you know, not as even catastrophic, people will pull together to see something like to benefit someone or a group of people. They're just like that. I mean, I've been at like our little thrift store or something, you know. I'll tell my kids, they just have a ton of toys. Like my kids have a ton of toys. And so I'm telling my kids, like, no, we don't need more toys. And then some gentleman in line like buys it for us. And you know, it's a very sweet gesture, you know, like it's very sweet. And I mean, we don't need that, but it's just people want to be a blessing. And they're very sweet people here. Awesome. They're just amazing.
So in regards to, with all the recent growth, but looking in the future for Crouch, is there anything done, or is there kind of a trajectory? Because we have to allow some sort of growth, but to not lose what Crouch really is. I
think it's hard, because I think a lot of, especially those longer time local families, really do kind of, you can kind of see the way that they respond on like our local social media pages. You know, I wouldn't say like against change, but they're resistant, you know, for sure. And then it's a balance. I mean, things are going to have to change, and at some point something's going to happen. So you kind of start putting things into place that you can at least control the trajectory a little better of whatever that is, whether it's an influx of people or, you know, God forbid, like some sort of catastrophic event. Like we had some bad wildfires. The smoke was filling the valley. We live, obviously, Crouch is actually a very small city.
It is.
And then the greater Garden Valley unincorporated area outside it. And it was pretty bad, you know, and we were quite worried. There was a few people in certain parts of the area that were on evacuation orders and whatnot. But those kinds of things, like you can do so much to try to mitigate, plan ahead, or even just a growing population. But at the same time, I mean, it's hard because you still don't always know what it's gonna be like. That
brings up some good questions, actually. With the really bad fire season that we did have here last year, was there anything that you guys learned from that and are like changing moving forward, or?
I think our fire response was phenomenal. We had a lot of guys and gals putting in just insane amounts of hours, putting their lives out there. They've always been really good. They also do a lot to like mitigate pre-season. With not just educating the public about your own private little space and how you can mitigate your own little area from the fire spreading onto your lands, but also just the prep work they put in outside of that. I mean, they were lightning strikes. I mean, you can really only do so much, and some of that's, in a way, it's natural. Like obviously you don't want that to happen, but at the same time it's kind of a cycle. So I mean, I don't know that we learned anything except that we could always do better. Some people in the community have started like an emergency preparedness type thing. It is kind of dangerous because we only have so many thoroughfares that lead out. And so that's kind of one of our things that we're looking at with this side group that communicates with us, with the county, regarding just emergency preparedness in general. Like food rations or evacuation, what that's going to look like. Okay, well, they're going to probably looking at like shutting both lanes down to go the same direction. So like double lanes out, because it's, you know, you saw coming up, it's one lane each way. And so you can at least get more out, hopefully quickly. And then just teaching people, like, you know, communicating, like, hey, these areas aren't on evacuation orders. This is what that looks like. Like you have bags packed, they're in your car. So you're like jumping out of bed, throwing your family into the car, and you're gone like within a couple minutes, hopefully less.
Since you've lived other places and here as well, what's something that like jumps out at you that's different about living in a more urban area versus, you know, in this kind of wildlife urban interface?
So I was born and raised in Boise, and then I obviously grew up in, like, I did Boy Scouts. You know, I was an Eagle Scout at like a pretty young age, like 13. You know, I did all that stuff and I loved it. But there's a lot of things, even me, like growing up with some of those like little bits of skill sets from those little merit badges I got that like I was lacking. Like for us, like we have a wood stove.
Okay.
And I didn't realize how much like work and knowledge goes into maintaining a house that has a wood stove. Our house is a log home on top of it.
Okay.
So it's like a literal like tinderbox that we invite fire into to heat it in the winter because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
We do have like electric heat, but it's expensive. It's cold here. And we have a lot of windows.
Right.
And so it's like, you can feel the cold steeping in through the glass in the winter. So we had to learn how do we manage our fireplace, like cleaning the flue every year, and then like using what's called a dampener. Yeah. And like all these just little things, and like what kind of wood to get, where to get wood, and then even like all of the stuff that like a lot of people don't know about, like running a chainsaw, chainsaw maintenance and safety, all those things. So you learn all these things about just one particular thing that you need for your home. Yeah. Then you can add on all kinds of other types of like plowing. Yeah. Plowing isn't necessarily just moving snow around. There's a little bit of an art to it so that you can set yourself up to have the snow out of the way for future plows, because they had the Snowmageddon. Yeah. And it was apparently really, really bad up here, especially. Okay, I believe it. Some people like 10 foot of snow. I mean, so you got to have a place to push that so you're not boxing yourself in. So there's all this like strategy that some rookie like me that comes up here, and that was my first winter. Right. I'm probably not going to stick around. I'm probably thinking, man, every year like this is horrible. Yeah. And so it's just as a learning curves. It's more work maybe to live here, but it's worth it. Like it's definitely we love it. Absolutely. How about like animals? Obviously you got big animals. I see people posting on their ring cams like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. There was like 2 mountain lions walked right on their front porch. Bears. And the Crouch, it's so small and it's right here centrally located where we are right now. We still get like elk, and they're fine. Like they don't really, we have gardens. So it's like, okay, so we got to have big fences and access to the garden for ourselves, but keeping the elk and deer out. Right. We have raccoons that our neighbor catches on ring cam. We have some chickens and ducks. And so he was telling me like, hey, heads up, make sure your birds are in, because raccoons were out. And we, of course, would put them away, but yes, we got to be extra careful. You got to have real good chicken coops. I mean, there's all kinds of animals out here. And we're just here with them. I mean, nothing we're going to do about it. Absolutely. How about like deer, and how many collisions happen, like vehicle collisions? There's probably more than I'm aware of. I feel like I see the animal on the side of the road. Yeah. But as far as hearing about it on like anywhere, like people don't necessarily. I'm not listening to like dispatch, and even then, I don't know that they calling in terribly too much unless it's like causes a bad wreck. But I see them along the road quite a bit between here, Horseshoe Bend, or Loman. I mean, they definitely happen. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do, actually. When we come up here and camp at River Pond, like every August. Oh, cool. And several times, we wake up because the elk are like bugling right outside the trailer. So it just echoes inside the trailer in the middle of the night, which is pretty cool. It's fun. Yeah, they freaked us out this winter. We'd originally kind of let our chickens free roam, especially during the winter. Yeah. We had like a chicken, kind of a feed block on our porch, and I forgot to bring it in. So I woke up like 3 a.m. to like this scuffling, rustling sound and like horse hooves or something. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I get up and I have a double glass doors. Right. And I see this horse looking thing, this big old thing in the shadows of the night, it's dark out there. This big old thing. I'm like, oh gosh, I bet it's an elk. I didn't even think to put that block away. And he's moving it around trying to get at it. Right. And I flicked the light on, and she didn't care I was there. She did not care. She just looked at me through the glass, and me to you. Yeah. Just a big old thing. And I was like, go away. So I went to open the door, and that noise kind of started startling, and she took off. Yeah. But I was just like, good gracious. Like, they're everywhere. Yeah. It's super cool. I was actually just walking around out here in that garden area or whatever, where the pavilion is. And there was a pile of elk crap right there. Yeah. In the absolute middle of town. We had a huge bull in our yard, and a couple years ago, and right on that same porch. And we had some Christmas lights that were kind of strung around the side of the porch. Okay. And he got in there with his antlers, or his, and he got him kind of messed up a little and broke some because he's trying to jiggle himself free. Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, just right by my door, this big, beautiful bull elk, just huge. I was just like, right there, I could have touched him. That's funny. I was like, come on, man, go away. You're messing up my decorations.
Right. Have you heard any challenges insurance-wise? I know there's a lot of people like in California and Florida who are having issues, especially with wildfires right now. Not currently, but insurance-wise, is that
For homes?
Yeah, insurance companies jacking up rates and just not wanting to insure.
I haven't heard that yet. Late June, there was actually a hailstorm, and so a lot of, ourselves included, we got a free new roof, which was nice. But they haven't touched ours yet. I haven't heard of anybody's, but I don't know how long that might take.
Right.
If people, there was a lot of claims in the Crouch area. We got new roofs here in the city buildings as well, all 3 of them. So
interesting. Yeah,
so this was a real bad hailstorm at the end of June. Just, I mean, my wife's car still got like the shotgun blast all over the hood that, you know, I don't really care about. It's a mountain cars, but
right.
But still, it's insurance rates going up though. I don't. You know, for us, it depends. I guess the only thing that we saw was difficult when we bought was because it was a log home with a wood stove in it. Yeah, we still got coverage. It was just a little more expensive. But no, nothing about that yet.
What's the percentage as far as like people living in the community that are here like full-time versus like part-time seasonally?
That's kind of hard. There is a lot of like just movement in general, people coming and going or properties changing hands.
Right.
I do know there's quite a few short-term rentals up here. Yeah. I was told, I don't know who told me. I think it was one of our city council members was talking to someone and said that person told them there was over 200 Airbnbs in Garden Valley alone. Yeah. As far as snowbirds or not, or whatever, long-term versus short-term residents, I mean, we have most of our neighbors are long-term. I could think of a few people that kind of do like a long short-term, like May or April to October.
Right.
So that's still like over half the year. We bought from people that only came up from like Nevada every few weekends over the summer. So our house is now like actually lived in fully. Yeah. I'm not actually too sure. I think most people do tend to stay up here. Right. Most of the time. I mean, I do see there's still a lot of activity up here in the winter. So
are there a lot of people that commute down to the Boise area for work?
Yeah, there are. I'm not sure if that number's changed or not, but you can see it in the mornings, especially like summertime, when it's easier to get up and it's not cold. Yeah. I'll get up and I'll just kind of look out my driveway. I live along the Middle Fork there, so I can see the cars, and there's that rush, if you will, from like 6 to 8 a.m. in the morning to get to wherever they're trying to get to.
How does because obviously there's a bunch of people that come up here camping during the summer. How does that affect like living here? You get like a huge rush on the weekend, and then the week it's just dead?
Well, even in the summer, it's not. Winter, I would say winter, especially in the weekdays, it's definitely dead. Right. Summer, I mean, I wouldn't say it's slower in the weekdays, but I mean, we still have people like they're taking their week's vacation here. Right. You know, whatever week of June or whatever. Weeks like the 4th or Memorial or Labor Day, that's common to have like the whole week just kind of, it's not as busy. Weekends for sure, it's like there's the chunk of people. Right. But there's a lot of folk like, hey, I'll just take the whole week off since I already have the one day. Yeah. And it just depends on, I don't know, just a lot of different factors. We're kind of so close to Boise that you don't really have to sit down and be like, I'm going to like plan a trip to Crouch Garden Valley that week or whatever. Because a lot of people just do the camping thing. And so they'll just be like, throw their stuff in and like, they'll just come up. So it just kind of depends on like that randomization of like when people choose to come here versus wherever else they might opt to go.
So how much of the kind of commerce in the area is because of people recreating versus actually just living here?
I would think there's actually quite a bit for the restaurants. Right. I think the locals can definitely and do definitely support the restaurants. Yeah. And I think they even do significantly more than keep them afloat through the winter times. Okay. But in the summer times, I almost kind of feel like we're kind of bad. Like we'll eat out, you know, it's just the way it is. Yeah. So we'll go whenever, any time of year, I should say, weekday, weekend. And so I got a good feel for like going to restaurants, and I'll notice weekends, that Memorial to Labor Day, I'll never see hardly many locals in the restaurants, because I think we're all trying to get out of where all the visitors are and we'll come in on the weekday.
Totally understand that. That's actually brings up another question. So is there something that, or maybe not necessarily like an issue, but something that the locals wish that like people coming here camping and whatnot would know, like speeding on the Middle Fork?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah, you could get on our local Facebook pages and
Right.
like just watch what people rail against on there. But yeah, speeding's one. It's incredibly disrespectful, especially when you're trying to like get to a campsite and whatnot.
Right.
And you pull into like oncoming traffic to pass.
Yeah.
Especially if it's kind of like not the most like safe way to.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's legal, then whatever, it's fine. I get that.
Yeah.
But if someone's going the speed limit or pretty close, like you're already kind of here. Like my thing is like once you hit Horseshoe Bend, coming from wherever you're coming from and you're making your way to our area or beyond, dude, slow down, man. You're following the river, like soak that in. Like 5 to 20 extra minutes that you're gonna save is probably not gonna cost you the camping spot that you either got it there or you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
So just enjoy the drive, because that really aggravates a lot of the locals.
Right.
There's just, especially when they're pulling trailers, you can't stop.
Right.
You're using our EMS and our fire and whoever when you do have an accident, which is inevitable.
Right.
With the way people drive. So just try to like slow down and relax and like soak in, like you're already kind of there. Horseshoe Bend, it's like, all right, you're already in the woods. You got a beautiful river right to the side of you the whole rest of the way. Just have a great conversation with your wife and your kids and just get there safe, man. Another one's trash and another one's fires.
Okay.
We'll go nap driving with our kids to put them down for an afternoon nap, and we'll see fires unattended. We'll see toilet paper pieces from people just piled into a spot, in a kind of a spot you can tell that's where they're going to use it as a restroom outdoors. And it's not that hard to me to like just grab like a grocery sack. I'm gesturing to the garbage sack. There's something small, just kind of hang it like, hey, this is our outdoor bathroom area. Hang it up right there and then just take it when you go.
Right.
I don't really get how people can like be like that.
We were up here 2 years ago when we were driving up the Middle Fork. We're in the part where it's gravel road, and we're just driving up to Silver Creek, and there was, what was the first thing that we saw on the side of the road? It was like a canopy, a brand new canopy in the package. And I was like, that's just a canopy on the side of the road. And it was just placed like perfectly right there, like somebody just sat it down. It was like, what the heck? So we got outside on the side of the road. We go a little bit farther, and then we found something else, like a jug of water, like a jug of water. And so we're going for like a mile, and we just keep finding random stuff on the road, and we're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Somebody eventually comes driving down the road, and we're like, hey, is that all your stuff that you lost? They had this makeshift trailer with a four-wheeler and a bunch of camping gear loaded on it, and they were like, yeah. So we helped them load it all up, and then they just had like a crude gate on the back of it, like with a bungee holding it shut.
So it's like,
so we helped them load it all up, and then they just turned around and they go flying back up the Middle Fork. It was like, did you not just learn from what happened? I mean, they tore up their brand new canopy that had never been used, but it was like, it's always something like that. You always see something like that.
Negligence with chains on trailers too, like that caused the fire. That's kind of by mile marker, like 1.5 as you're getting out towards banks. There's kind of a tight turn and a big water rafting pull out. Yeah. And you might still see some charred trees off to the right. Right. The other side of the river. That was a tires, chains, trailers, chains dragging, I think that one was. So that kind of stuff, like just simple, a little extra caution or a little extra thought to something. It's crazy.
How about playing around on the water here? I see, and just like last week, I saw somebody got knocked under by a tree or something.
I didn't hear about that, but there was a kayak that was reported just floating down, and maybe that was that incident.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. It's terrible. Right. Now is the time that we're not those people. We wait till about the 4th when it's not warmer, but also it's really like calm. Now's the professionals' time to me, in my opinion. It's too cold for me anyways, but that's there. That's especially the South Fork. It's colder water, it's deeper, and it's got those logs in it too. Sometimes they'll even have like log jams along the river there. So
for people who are living here full time, how's like access to, like, do you drive down to Boise to go to like a doctor, Costco, anything like that?
We have a pretty decent grocery store as far as like what small towns traditionally offer, in my experience. Yeah. Visiting other small towns just for our own. It's fun. We take our vacations to places like here. Just want to check in on like other small town restaurants and other small town things. Yeah. That's what we do. And it seems like we do pretty good as far as what we offer compared to other cute little towns around the Idaho area. Grocery stores, really good actually. A lot of just over-the-counter type medicines and healthcare type things to even like fun things like toys and rafts and little whatever for water or just all year types of things. Food varieties quite good, and I think the quality's pretty good in my opinion. We shop there. We don't really go to Boise. We have little kids, so to us it doesn't make a lot of sense to like go down there, spend half a bloody day in the store to save a few bucks. Partly too, it's just like we just don't know what we feel like we're gonna eat.
I understand
those types of things. So
I'm always shocked at how good the fresh produce section is at the market.
They do a tremendous job. I'll let them know you said that, because that means a lot to them. I think they're the owners there. I mean, I see him working in the building and doing stuff, even produce stocking. So he cares a lot about what he has to offer there. He's a good guy.
It definitely shows through.
Medical, we have a local doctor. My son was goofing around, had his arms inside his sleeves, and he was on our staircase. And my wife's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then he slid and fell like 2 steps down to the bottom, and he broke his collarbone clean. So we just called the doc. It was after hours, and so he met us, took the X-ray here. It was all in place. They didn't have to do anything. So he just gave us a sling and we left. And then we were in and out in less than an hour. I would have barely been able to like just pulling into Boise by that time. So not only were they really, really good and whatever, but they were super convenient. So, I mean, we have pretty decent medical facilities. I think we have a couple dentists here. I know one's real close to here. And I think there's another one over down towards the school. There's a couple dentists, and I know they've done things after hours to help people, like someone chipped a tooth or something like that. They do really good work. So there's actually more here than we realize.
I didn't even realize that there was that much.
It's kind of neat. So
what's your go-to activity on a day off here?
For me, honestly, I like being in my yard. I'm kind of a homebody. Like, I love getting out. Our kids are just so little. I got a little like 18, 19-month-old little guy. So I'm just not to that point where I can like get out and hike with him yet. He's really heavy too. Like he's probably pushing 40 pounds. This kid's like a tank. So like, I'm not a huge guy. So I'm not looking to like, throw a 40-pound guy on my back and then walk 10 miles with them, because it's just, I don't know. I like hiking, but that's a lot of work. But I will get there. I like fishing. I've gone hunting, big game, bird. I love all of that stuff. Fishing was what I really did though as a kid growing up. And being here, it's like, it's amazing. We go catch frogs too. Like, I did that as a kid. I loved just catching frogs, and have a little tank at home. I'd keep them for a few days and then, let them go. Cause I don't want to keep them their whole life, but it's fun to like watch them eat. You feed them bugs and then you just let them go where you caught them. So we do that with my oldest. He's almost 10. He loves doing all that kinds of stuff. Just being outside, or he's got a little dirt bike. So I need to get me one. I'd like to do that. Some trails. Go explore some hunting spots and get a better lay of the mountains, because I haven't been out in a lot of the spots. There's a lot of different roads and trails around.
Some crazy single track trails around here. Like, I'm experienced on a dirt bike, and I was riding on one. I can't remember. Is it Lightning? No, it wasn't Lightning Creek. It was up past Lightning Creek. But anyhow, it got really crazy really fast, and I ended up dumping my bike, and everything flew off of me. But there's a lot of nice trails to ride on around.
One I'd hiked was right past Silver Creek, but they'll let you do dirt bikes on it. It's Peace Creek. Really kind of pretty, especially at least the first few miles. It's not like too but it was just it's like a high little valley, and so there's like all these beautiful flowers and just those wildflowers, and you got a little creek that you kind of meet and on and off your path. It's just
nice.
And there's no one really, when I went, there's just no one up there.
There's never
you just couldn't really quantify the value of that experience to someone that just hasn't tried it themselves. So that's the kind of stuff we like to do. So if we're not just hanging out in our yard, we have a creek in our yard that feeds into the river right there. So we have I love our yards, but so I'll just do that. You know, I don't mind the traffic and stuff. Like today we're gonna do some of that, but then we're gonna come check out all the Spring Fest and get some food and a drink or whatever. That's kind of what we do. And I don't know. Awesome. I like to read too. I like to, especially outside, I like to be able to grab a book and then sit outside and smell the fresh air. Maybe some flowers. We've got lilacs blooming in our yard.
Cool. That's awesome. If somebody's visiting for one day, what's the first thing that you recommend that they do?
Man, I think you just got to kind of park and walk around town, honestly.
Okay.
And hopefully, like, you're going to be hungry within that, like, first few hours, and you take advantage of, like, one of the restaurants for sure. And I think I say that because they're kind of all unique. They all have, like, a real unique taste on, like, what they have for their atmosphere inside.
Yeah.
So they have, like, a really cool wine bar, The Hinge. There's a German place.
Okay.
And then there's the Longhorn or the Dirty Shame that are kind of more just, I don't want to say normal, but just maybe traditional.
Yeah.
But they're all really, really good. There's Wild Bill's breakfast place. And even if you're just looking for like a quick like snack and a coffee, there's the Mudroom Coffee House. They all just have this feel to them that's like very distinct in their own. And you could just sit down and you could visit with someone like this for like hours. I could find myself doing that kind of stuff. And just, I would say if someone comes up, just take it slow and walk.
Right.
Walk to the park, walk to the library just beyond. Check out that little like, kind of a greenbelt little path they have back there. Come in here, check out all that's around here. If the museum's open in here or whatever else in downtown Crouch with restaurants or shopping or whatever. Just kind of really just take it in and soak it in and take it slow.
I like that.
Kind of like a cup of coffee.
Do you have any advice for somebody who is maybe thinking about moving up here?
Don't. We're full. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just think about it. Think about like what your values are, and if anything I shared resonates with you, then like those are the people. I mean, I can't fault you for wanting to be what I have and have what I have if that's what you desire.
Right.
And just good luck. And when you get here, we'll see you, because I think we just have what we have here, and I think people appreciate that. And then some people that find that this isn't what they want, and that's okay. Yeah, they tried it and they usually still like it. It's just not their cup of tea. Right. And so they move on. So
absolutely, I really like that. When I'm researching other towns, one of the first websites I go to is niche.com, because it tells you everything that you could need to possibly know about the area. Schools, and crime and safety is the big one. And when I searched I can't remember if I searched Crouch or Garden Valley.
Probably Garden Valley, yeah.
And for crime, it just pulled up no information, no information, no information, no information.
Yeah, well.
So how's there's safety?
There's stuff that happens. I don't sit home and like listen to a police scanner. I actually had a meeting in here a couple weeks ago with one of our commissioners and the sheriff. Okay. And yeah, they do. I mean, there's things they deal with. I mean, I've heard of them having a chase. They had to pit someone like way up the Middle Fork. Took a guy into a guy's yard. Yeah, way up past like Lightning Creek. Huh. This was like a couple years ago, and that's a real like rare anomaly. Yeah. I think one thing is I think people think they can come up here because they might think that we're short-staffed or we're with the police or whoever, and therefore that like we're kind of a lawless town. But that's not really the case, because you got a lot of people like me or other people that are like, well, the sheriff's busy. I'll go talk to that guy. Like, hey, I don't appreciate how you drove just now. I mean, that's just, and that would have to take like someone being real jerk on the road for someone like. But there's people in the community that are like that. Right. Even a couple I've heard of, I don't know if this is true or not, but doing their own like citizens arrest type things when it's really that bad. And people think they can come up here and do whatever illegal drugs or other illicit behaviors because the county is kind of geographically spread out. Right. And, we only have so much funding for however many deputies. But that's not the case. That's right. I think we're quite civil. I'm not saying things don't happen, and there's probably things I haven't heard about. But, I think our sheriffs and his deputies they do a great job. And I don't hear about too much craziness. Yeah. So. Cool. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, you guys. We are in the local city park, and right there is a pile of elk poop. So, if you want to live in an area where you have to watch out for elk poop in the city park instead of dog poop, give me a call. Let's make it happen. Check this out. Little woolly bugger.